Wrestling is so weird. I mean, honestly, where else, apart from some raggedy TV show, do you get it where a popular character, someone you've come to know and love, all of a sudden is being played by someone else? I'm sure there's loads of examples actually. I'm trying to make a point here. The world of sports entertainment does love doing that, however, and sometimes it really can be too much. How much do we have to buy in here? I'm just supposed to accept this man has a new face, am I? Like he's been hanging out with John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. Come on. I'm Simon from WhatCulture.com, and this is 10 fake versions of popular wrestlers. Number 10, Doink the Clown. Doink the Clown has been duplicated and changed so much, I've lost count. On top of that, you can still go to random indie promotion and who turns up? Flippin' Doink. What is the deal? If we're talking WWE though, there are still a few names we have to go through. Matt Bourne was the original, then it went to Ray Apollo, then Steve Kern, then John Maloof, Steve Lombardi, and even Nick Dinsmore at one point. For some reason, a former enhancement talent known as Dusty Wolf is also allowed to wrestle as Doink if he wants, and indie worker Mike Moraldo was also doing it in the NWA during 1994 and 95. Doink wasn't even that good once Bourne was no longer doing it, so how it had this much evolution I don't know. Number 9, The Undertaker. Way back in 1994 during the SummerSlam main event, WWE thought it would be a great idea to have an Undertaker versus Undertaker match. To be fair, if you were 10 years old, like me, this was amazing. How had this happened? What would be the outcome? And what crazy world did we now live in? Get a bit older, however, and all of a sudden you realise how stupid this was. Played by a good friend of Mark Calloway, known as Brian Lee, who would go on to be changed from DOA, there was just something a bit off when you saw him wrestle as the Dead Man. Now, this was of course because it wasn't him, and the fact the match itself fell flat was just a nail in the coffin. Pun massively intended. Lee did do well in the sense he moved a bit like Taker in the ring and could pull it off to some degree, but we could all do that. Maybe. Number 8, the Blue Meanie. James Tilquist has been around since the 90s and even had a little run with TNA in 2005. When I say a little run though, I mean that in every sense of the word. You're not meant to remember this man. What may ring a bell though is when 2010 rolled around and the now GFW ran a show called Hardcore Justice that featured a lot of ECW alumni. As the Blue Meanie was unable to attend though, for some reason those in the back thought it would be a great idea to send Tilquist out there instead, dressed as Meanie, and call him Big Tilly. He adopted the same mannerisms and even came out as part of the BWO. This wasn't half weird. Why not just say the real deal isn't here? People would have understood. Number 7, Jim Ross. If you ever wondered why WCW died, it's for nonsense and offensive ideas like this. While more of a parody than a fake, Ed Ferrara's mockery of Jim Ross during the Monday Night Wars is beyond bad taste and it should never have happened to begin with. Speaking with an accent and a cowboy hat firmly on his head, Oklahoma as he was known, not only mimicked JR, but also thought it was hilarious that he had Bell's palsy, because real life struggles and illnesses are rife for comedy, obviously. For reasons we will never know, this fake commentator also won the WCW Cruiserweight Championship at one point, and it's everything wrong with the company summed up. Stupid, offensive, and downright pointless. Number 6, the Legion of Doom. In the late 90s, wrestling was a hot topic around the world and big business in the UK. With the WWF and WCW touring only sporadically at the time, local promoters capitalised on the hunger for American wrestling by promoting tribute shows, or knockoffs for lack of a better term. A mainstay of this circuit during the 90s was Johnny South, better known at the time as the Legion of Doom, because you know, they were a big deal, so why not? Somehow too, this was a mini success, creating a buzz when he did come out and actually doing alright for himself. You could say it made South's career, and how that's possible is anyone's guess. It's like me pretending to be Roman Reigns for a while. I'm bald. To his credit though, his appearance was spot on and he was almost the double of Road Warrior Hawk, to the point that many actually believed it was the real Mike Hegstrand. Number 5, the Patriot. During the mid-90s, a man by the name of Tom Brandi ran around as Salvador Sincere. It's one of those gimmicks that today we all just want to forget because while it was fine, it ultimately had no purpose. This is why it was really strange when Brandi noticed that the original Patriot, Del Wilkes, had retired, so thought, screw it, I'm going to portray that on the indies. And he did. He still does so today. Wilkes has always maintained this is something Brandi just did on his own and has never asked for permission to run around as the Masked Man. Something that wouldn't be so bad until you find out on occasion Brandi even uses Wilkes' license for merchandise and all that. Just to give you one last piece of bizarre information, the Honky Tonk Man also came out once and said he actually owned the gimmick. So there's that. Number 4, Sting. In 1996, WCW had the great idea to introduce a second Sting in order to further the NWO storyline. Played by Jeff Farmer, this new version would try to confuse the company by pretending that he was the actual Sting and that he'd actually joined the NWO, despite him vowing never to do so. This all came to a head at Full Brawl that year when the fake Sting and the real Sting stood face to face with one another and everything was revealed to be a ruse. This led to us then having both NWO Sting, as he was known, and then real Sting, and while that sounds stupid, it actually kinda worked. Hell, it even tricked people in the WWE. In its Best of Sting DVD, there was a picture of the character on the back of the box, but it was actually the NWO version. Idiots. Number 3, Razor Ramon. When a heel JR announced his latest wrestler was Razor Ramon in September of '96, the world was stunned. Scott Hall had left for WCW, so how the hell had WWE got him back so quickly? Well, they hadn't, and out stumbled poor Rick Bogner pretending to be the bad guy. My word, did this suck. A well-travelled worker by this time, he was doomed before he even got out there because everyone in the crowd wanted to see the original version, not this rip-off. JR was soon dropped from the angle, and yet for some reason the character hung around for a while, for having his last appearance at the '97 Royal Rumble. He lasted 17 seconds and amazingly was eliminated by Ahmed Johnson. Number 2, Diesel. Fake Diesel is a little more interesting than fake Razor just because of who played it. Glenn Jacobs, who would go on to be Kane, was handed this dreaded task, and much like Ramon, it was another dead-on-arrival idea. No one wanted to see this. Lasting till the Rumble 2, this abomination also popped up in the USWA for a while, and amazingly, no one gave two hoots still. How could you? It's a man playing dress-up. Luckily, in hindsight, all this was okay, as Jacobs went on to have an amazing time in the WWE, but still, this was dumb. Number 1, The Ultimate Warrior. For years, people would argue there was 2 Ultimate Warriors, and by and large that was nonsense. Until 2007. During the run-up to the ill-fated Dream Reunion 2 show in Indiana, the event promoted a mystery guest that was meant to be the real Jim Hellwig. That was the plan, and despite not having anything locked down, everyone involved went ahead and hinted this was the case. Whoops. When they couldn't get him then, the brains behind this farce did what anyone would do. They found a guy that looked like him, Dominic Yanero, and told him to get his ass out there and be the warrior. Obviously they couldn't call him that, so Dom here was known as One Warrior Nation, but the company still received a cease and desist letter pretty quickly after all of this was done. Even the real warrior was mad, because of course he was. Who didn't see that coming?
I am defiant.
I am defiant.
I am
Defiant.
I am defiant. I am the villain. We are defiant.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe below, and if you're looking for more content like this, then try a few things that are floating about around my ears. It might be fun. I can't promise it though, but it might be.